So Maya Angelou once said, I've run a game on everybody and they're going to find me out. This is what we would call imposter syndrome. When I first started my musical journey, I started with just heavy metal, listening to things like Metallica, Guns N' Roses, Black Sabbath. And then, surely enough, I started playing in my church. In my church, they did gospel music. Now, as you probably know, heavy metal and gospel music are two totally different genres. But I went and I did it, and I learned, I grew from it. Now, during that time, I never felt like an imposter, partly because I knew that this was something I didn't know how to do. One of the reasons why I never felt like an imposter was because, one, I was new to it. All the musicians were better than me. This was all something I knew going into it, and I was okay with it. I was there to learn, there to grow, and I knew where I sat as far as being with the musicians. I was never really insecure about it because I knew my place, and I was just trying to grow, learn how to play gospel and all these different genres. One of the reasons why I never felt like an imposter was because it was all new to me. I was learning. I knew where I sat as far as the skill level of everybody else, where my skill level was, and most importantly, I just wanted to learn, and that was okay. Now, fast forward, I've been doing music for 10, 15, I think maybe 18 years now, and this is where it kind of comes in now. I'm well accomplished. People call me to do stuff. I get booked all the time. And yet, for some reason, I keep feeling like, am I really good enough to do this? Like, do people really enjoy what I do? There have been many times where I've played at a church or performed, and people come up to me and they're like, hey man, you did a great job, dude. The way you played your guitar, or the way you did it, church today just blessed me. And I tell them thank you, but always on the inside, I'm always thinking, man, only if you knew all the notes that I messed up, how we missed that change, I was offbeat there. And even though I'm getting all these compliments, I'm still always thinking about every mess up I made. Even if it was only one mess up, I'm thinking about that whole mess up the whole time while everybody else enjoys what I do. Now, we don't need to be we don't get our value from other people, but I think definitely the line of work of being a musician, production, an artist, or just a creative in general, validation from other people kind of comes with the territory. Part of what you do is to please other people. So, in that sense, if people are saying you're doing a good job, that definitely helps. But we tend to still, no matter how much validation we get, we always feel like it's never good enough. Here we are in 2023 in the month of June 12th to be exact, and I decided I wanted to start YouTube. Now, this has been going on for a while now. As a musician, I figured naturally that's kind of the next step to go. I play different instruments, I do production, just all these different stuff, a little bit of photography, so I thought the next best place is to put it on YouTube. Now, even though this is June now, I've been working on this, attempting to get stuff out for the past maybe 3 or 4 months. Part of it is just due to schedule conflicts and different things with different people, but a big, huge portion, more than half of it, is just because the imposter syndrome. I felt like everything I've done wasn't good enough. The videos I filmed before this wasn't good enough, and maybe it wasn't. Naturally, when you're starting off, it's not going to be top level. It's not going to be where you want it, and that's okay, but you still got to push through it. Even though I'm saying this now, I don't really take my own medicine, and so I've got videos and music and a whole hard drive full of stuff that may or may not ever get put out because I'm afraid that it's not going to be good enough. It doesn't matter what everybody else thinks, but what I think about it. There are people that have told me, man, this is good, you should do more of this, and that. And I'm just like, no, we're not, I can't do that. And so, much like maybe most of the people watching this, most musicians, you probably have a hard drive, a Google Drive, a Dropbox full of stuff that you're never going to put out. And that's okay. But also, Just take the step and put it out. What's the worst that's gonna happen? If it's your first piece of content, to be honest, you're probably not gonna get a lot of views on it, and it's okay. But at least we're taking those steps to get it out, and then we can build on there. Your second piece of content, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and then before you know it, we start building a rhythm. So I don't know if this is a rant or me to encourage somebody out there, but imposter syndrome is just a fancy word for being insecure. If you have imposter syndrome, you're insecure about what you're doing. And I said, to a certain extent, that's okay. We're all a bit insecure. It kind of helps us stay a little bit humble. But when we let that take over, that just stops a lot of what we could be doing. It kind of shelves off our potential. So go ahead and take that first step. Post your first video. Post that song that you've had on your hard drive. Maybe you got some photos that you've taken and you've edited and you don't want anybody to see it. Maybe you shot a short film with somebody and you're like, hey, we're never gonna post this. Take that first step and post it.
That's a lot of flour.